winner of the Heisman Trophy, Ashton Henderson from southeastern Louisiana. This is Ronald Ollie. Have you guys seen Last Chance U on Netflix?
Yep.
Okay, so he was at East Mississippi and then transferred to Nichols and made this play to finish fourth in the Heisman Trophy this year.
8 for 11 on the year. And 6-point lead. Snap, but it's blocked. Great job, and the Colonels will take off with it. Ronald Ollie, do your thing, big man. 40, 35, 30. Last chance you to Houston Baptist. 80-yard touchdown. How about that one? How about
That's a big man rumbling.
on the goal line, kind of like the fridge, man.
98 yards.
He was rolling down that.
Blocked extra point. Yeah. We go back to the list. We had a, so one of the spots we do every year is just our overall conference PSA. It'll be probably after all the football stuff here. There it is, Southland PSA. So this year I really wanted, instead, we usually just put together a bunch of clips from the previous athletic season. This year I really wanted to focus on our top student athletes. And each year, each summer, we have a retreat in Frisco for the one of the representatives for each of our member schools. So wrote this script. Some of the people only had one word to say, but I wanted to make sure everybody was included and just kind of go with the overall feel for the conference. And obviously being on YouTube was not the main point. This commercial runs in every single televised game that we do. It runs on every video board at every school. This commercial gets a lot of play, and we're able to spotlight 13 really outstanding kids.
The Southland Conference
4,200 student athletes
from across the country
and around the world, representing 13 member institutions,
from Arkansas, Texas, and Louisiana,
excelling in 17 NCAA Division I sports.
in the classroom, and in our communities.
We are Southland Strong.
Sounds like we're.
Oh, you're fine. No, we're on a double block, so
Okay.
we got run over. We got timing for you to do.
Gotcha. But I don't know what else you want me to cover.
From your perspective, what are some good classes to make sure you take to round yourself out? I mean, if you're a finance person, you're a finance person. If you want to go into marketing, you're marketing. If you want to go into business, you're doing business.
Sure.
And then what do you think that would help in terms of rounding yourself out as a good candidate for multiple jobs because of some other things you've taken?
The classes aspect, I wouldn't have the best answer for you. For me, it was all about those experiences, those internships. That's why I got the jobs that I got. Other than my very first job out of Des Moines, which was strictly somebody seeing my tape as a reporter. They saw that and hired me sight unseen, and I was eager to get a job, obviously. So took that and got my U-Haul up to Des Moines. But every other job after that has been through a connection. So Des Moines, after Des Moines, it was ESPN Radio here. I had interned at WBAP, the news talk station, and Disney owned WBAP. Disney was starting up ESPN 103.3 here in Dallas, and they were stacking their roster full of talent, and through that internship, they knew what I could do, and that's how I got the job at 103.3. Did that for a couple of years, and the job in Monroe was my college roommate who had an opening there, recommended me, and got the job there. My boss in Monroe, the news director, got the news director job in Baton Rouge and asked me to come down there with him. And then again, through the Southland, it was all those great connections I made while working in the athletic department at southeastern Louisiana. And I tell you, I felt really honored by the fact that so that by rule, by conference bylaw, they have to post all of their jobs, their job openings to the NCAA market and put it out there for a national search. They offered me, and I had signed a contract before they even put it out. I mean, they basically did put it out there because they had to, but they created the position for me specifically. So it was all, I think you get a wide range of classes as far as, making sure you have a great skills in all different facets. But the biggest thing you're going to do in college is make those connections, and they're just going to grow and accumulate, and one connection is going to lead to another.
Don't burn bridges.
No. I can't. The only bridges I guess I burned were with my former station in when we got laid off in Baton Rouge. I did hire representation and threatened to sue them if they didn't compensate me a little bit more for the comp time that I had earned. But so those bridges have been burned, but had to be done at the time.
Can you let these guys and girls know how the fortunate, like we talk about it in class and we kind of take it for granted, I think sometimes that they're doing what they're doing at their age.
Oh yeah.
As like an 11th or 12th grader, and just the ability to get in, unless you specifically know someone somewhere that will let you do it for a little while, but to actually have the ability to.
Yeah, I did internships in high school at Star Telegram and at Channel 5, and yeah, I took advantage of the fact that I knew all these people through my family connections with the Rangers, and seeing them every day as a bat boy, I would make it very clear that this is what I want to be doing. So I was a bad high school baseball player, and so it's before a game, and I know that journalism, some aspect of sports is where I wanted to be going. So Bob Costas is doing the game of the week for NBC, and standing around the batting cage at the ballpark, and talking to ball players has never been an issue. I've never really had that problem because I was around them all growing up. But big time TV personalities, that's where the butterflies, like I was afraid to talk to these people. But I got the guts up. This is my idol. This is Bob Costas. Go up and shake his hand, introduce myself. Like, I really want to be doing what you're doing someday. And you don't want to be playing ball like these guys are working with. It's like, I'm hitting below 200 in high school. That's not going to happen. And got a great laugh out of Bob and the other guys around there who we were talking to. And so it's all about meeting those people, keeping those connections, and it's I don't know how to stress that enough. It's not about the classes. It's not necessarily pass the classes you take. You got to pass the classes you take. I would not recommend the route that I took and having to desperately find a job out of college because I was forced to.
How do you find balance in family life and work?
I do that a lot more now. So being a TV sports anchor is a great job for a single person. As a married person, it was very bad. And so that when I got married, my wife was a teacher, and she's obviously up at 6 a.m. out the door by 7, if not earlier. And my work day started at about noon, ended at about 11. So other than quickly her waking me up in the morning to say goodbye, me waking her up when I got home to say goodnight, we did not see each other during the week. It's a terrible job for a married person. I can't imagine doing that job with kids. But some people do somehow. I don't know how they do it. But now, that was a big selling point doing what I'm doing now as opposed to trying to find another TV job after I finished school, was I do travel quite a bit for games, but when I'm home during the week, I'm actually home in the evening. It's an 8 to 5 work day. very few times I have to take work home with me and, you know, get to actually enjoy my wife and now my 10-month-old son when I get home each night. I do not envy people who work in television with family. That's incredibly difficult.
We got questions? Anybody got questions about school, work, internships, networking? Come on, it's gotta have something. Anybody? No? Cam, you got any questions? You're there all the time. Ah.
Yeah, if you get questions for me, come find me.
So you guys had what's it like being the host conference for a national championship?
It's always interesting, especially when it's two new teams. North Dakota State had been here for 5 consecutive years. They knew the drill. They knew exactly what to expect. You got James Madison and Youngstown State in here, and both of them is completely new. The last time they were in it, they'd both been to a championship game before, but it wasn't under the current setup. Before the game moved to Frisco, the semifinals were 1 week, the championship was 7 days later. It was just like any regular playoff round. When the game moved to Frisco, part of the NCAA's thinking, and it was in part because of us, we wanted it to be this way. We wanted it to be more of a bowl game atmosphere. So we suggested 3 weeks off between the semifinal game and the championship. Gives more time for teams to get ready, gives more time for fans to make travel plans to get down here, and we're able to offer them that bowl game lead up before the game actually starts. So that was a big point of contention actually for the people from James Madison and Youngstown State. We had a conference call the day after the semifinal games and explained to them, here's the schedule of events, here's what you're expected to be on Thursday, Friday. And the coaches actually had some reservations about that. You know, this is not how we do things. We have our own way of preparing the 3 days out before a game. We really don't want to do this stuff. You know, we had a community service event with Miracle League over at Fieldhouse USA. We rented out a main event for them and had both teams in there for a big night. We had a banquet. And they wanted no part of it. They thought, you know, this is not part of our routine. We're here for a business trip, none of this other stuff. And thankfully, the NCAA, it wasn't left to us. It was the NCAA basically getting with the athletic directors and the presidents saying, this is the part of the student athlete experience. This is a bowl game type atmosphere. You are going to do all of these things and end up, you know, obviously James Madison and Youngstown State, that game would have been no different had they not gone to the banquet or not gone to the main event. Those are events that those kids are going to remember for a long time to come. Just part of the overall experience we try to give them. And in the end, it's all about putting on a football game. Our work in the office, honestly, almost ends with kickoff. When it gets to the game itself, the NCAA has their own team of operations people that handle all the in-game elements. And obviously, you know, the game itself is the one thing we can't control. That's what we always, you know, we always say, we always know, and we can do everything we can surrounding the game. Once the game starts, the weather and the play on the field, the only two things we can't control in the athletics office.
Is that it? Anything else? We good? All right. And like we said before, if you're a